今日咧，我好開心啊！開心星期三咧，第一次訪問一個政客本地可嘅政客，我哋有綠黨白之 Fair 嘅 Lisa Cahn， 我哋 welcome Lisa。
Shay Billy.
Thank you for the Chinese greeting 啊。
That's pretty much the, except for ordering in restaurants, that's pretty much my Chinese extent. However, je parle anglais, je parle français, and multilingualism is very important to our Montreal culture. And I'm glad that the Chinese community is a big part of our city.
Great. So let's, maybe a lot of people do not really know about Green Party. Okay. Can you actually introduce a little bit of it?
Absolutely. The Green Party of Quebec has existed for a number of years. I can't say the exact date.
It's long.
It's been more than 10 years, yes. And the Green Party of Canada got elected Elizabeth May in the last federal election. But the Green Party of Quebec also is part of the charter of Green Parties around the world. So we all have something in common, is we are concerned about the Mother Earth, the planet, our environment, our health, our where we live, and how the government is changing our landscapes, our environments, and our lives by the decisions that they make. So the Green Party represents people who are concerned about what's happening to our small world or the bigger world of our planet.
I see. So mainly Green Party is about environment.
Well, the environment comes in on every issue when it comes to economy. We have to think about sustainable development, and what we call in French développement durable. So having jobs that are healthier and using products that are healthier.
Mm-hmm.
The environment comes into our lives in every way. But of course it's for small businesses, because the Green Party is made up of, it's a small party and understands the needs of the people. And it's for electoral reform, because it believes in a more fair system, and the way the electoral system is at the moment, it's not representational.
Yeah.
So the Green Party is also very much strongly for, one voice, one vote. The Green Party also represents the youth. There's something to be said about green. There's an expression in English of you're green and you're new and
You're new.
And there's a little bit of that, of like a seed that sprouts into a tree. We have to think of the youth and their future. And so the Green Party is for that as well.
When you talk about environment, when you talk about health, clean, everything clean, using products, that can help us, to protect the environment. All this are all about money. And all about economy, right? So how can you balance them out?
Well, in life, everything is a bit of a balance. We try and do the best we can. That's one of my yes we can hashtag is my Twitter thing. Is we try to do the best we can. We recycle, we reuse, we try and reinvent. I think creativity is very important, and to come up with ideas of how to be more live with less, perhaps. It's not all about money. We do need money, as you said, to eat and to pay for our bills and everything. And we know that money is linked to, if you have more money, you have higher education often, and with higher education, you have better health. So they're all combined. It's intertwined. And the balance of everyday life of how to be green depends on each person. There are different shades of green. But most importantly, the Greens are a federalist, non-separatist, globalist party. The Green Party of Quebec represents the Quebec people, but there are Green parties all over the world who have shown that instead of, for example, developing fossil fuels, we can use what they call greener energies. We have to be careful not to do greenwashing, which is say it's healthier and then 5 years down the road realize that it caused worse issues. So it's important to always make sure that what we're doing is really for our best interests, not just for the 10% who make the most money, but for everybody.
Okay, so you know what? Let's get back to your story. Okay,
absolutely.
Why you participate to this election?
Well, why am I? Because I believe that people want to vote Green. There are a lot of frustrated people with the Liberals who have sprung an election at the worst possible time for almost everybody, students, people on vacation. And that goes to a very manipulative type of government that and right wing that doesn't really want everybody to have a voice to speak. And the one vote, one voice, and every voice needs to be heard is part of the Green
slogan.
The voice to be heard, a different voice, a change in the voice that needs to be heard. And I like to talk a lot, so I decided,
you should come more often.
It'll be my pleasure. Invite me anytime. I would love to. So I decided to get involved. As I say, there's an expression, put your money where your mouth is. Instead of just talking about making a better place. I have a 16-year-old daughter. I'm a single mother. I have a small business, self-employed marketing consultant. And I have therefore responsibilities, and I'm concerned about the economy. We talked about 2 seconds ago about money and jobs. I feel it when you're a small business owner, small business, you feel it right away when the economy is not doing well. And I'm concerned for the economy. I'm concerned for my own health because of many changes that the government is proposing that might actually affect our physical health. And the main issue that you were talking about earlier, and I'm looking at the red light, and it's very much reminding me of the students. And at the center of attention, the Red Liberals seems to have brought up an issue with the students, and the Green Party definitely is on the student side of education and towards a model of free tuition. We have it for elementary and high school, and would like it to continue if we can find the right model towards CEGEP and university as well, because, as I said earlier, education.
So you truly believe that it is possible to have free tuition in the university level?
There's a difference between free tuition and free education. Education should be accessible to everybody who wants it. Not everybody wants it. And free, even in elementary, we have free elementary school, but it still costs for books and uniforms and lunches. And a lot of people, the poor people, the 80% who are not in the rich, have to feed their children good breakfasts so they can succeed in school. And I support programs that, like Fondation Génération, that ensures that kids get their food. But it does cost money to live. It's bottom line, yes. We need money. Money makes the world go round. But I do believe that there's a way of making it free. Like there's foundations. My daughter goes to a school where she gets a bursary. So bursaries are very much a part of how to make it accessible, and definitely no increase in fees. And I think that this city has some of the best schools, and we've produced some of the best students in the world with the lowest tuition. So it just goes to show that you don't have to pay a lot to get a good education.
Okay. So you know what? We will stop it here for now because I have more questions to you. Don't go away, okay? So let's take a rest. 好啦，我哋翻返嚟咧，繼續訪問綠黨嘅 Lisa 嚇。Hello Lisa。Hello
Billy.
Okay, so there are a lot more questions that I really want to know about the Green Party. When you talk about the tuition fee, it's about money, and when you talk about environment friendly, is about money as well. How living in a world that is high technology, how the Green Party can encourage energy saving and decrease resources wasting. What have you guys done so far in the past?
Well, we haven't been elected here in Quebec yet, so it's very difficult to make changes when you're a small party. One thing about the money issue is that as long as we are still, the world runs on a petrodollar, fossil fuel money, it's going to be difficult to change people's perspective on how to run our lives more environmentally friendly in some ways. But it's changing, and we're seeing it worldwide. Scientists around the world have started, sounded the warning bell a long time ago. And obviously we look at hybrid cars and new technologies that come in, solar technology in our city. Garbage cans at some metro stations are solar powered. I don't know how that works exactly for a garbage can, but it is being integrated into our lives on a small basis. In some parts of the world, in Germany, the Green Party was, I think, sitting in government as the opposition for a term. Other countries in France have elected Green members to the Senate. So it is about getting the word out there that there are other ways to make money than profiting from the poor people. I'm not against profit. I'm for profit in social justice type way of sharing with people, more in a community-oriented way. If it weren't for my communities, I wouldn't be here, because we do the neighborhood community and all sorts of communities. We help each other out. And so I think that in time, when we start realizing and more people start paying attention, hopefully the message will get through and more Green members around the world will get elected.
Okay, so let's get back to the election next week.
Yes,
next week. Tuesday, right?
September 4th.
Okay, so how do you see the other parties doing? Are they doing good? Are they? What do you think?
As a marketing analyst,
okay, great.
I will take out my other hat and see, because I'm not a political analyst, but if I were to look at the parties, obviously some parties are doing well because they have the budget. They have the money to put up the signs and to get out there and travel around and meet a lot of people. They have larger staff. So obviously from that point of view, the parties with the most money do well. However, well, obviously in some areas, the Liberals assume that they're going to just get back in. They are silent majority, did I hear on the radio, that will be voting, and Monsieur Charest is convinced that the Liberals will once again rule this province. If Pauline Marois has anything to say about it, it's not going to happen. She's doing very well, but I think she's also harming herself on some issues, language being one of them, by wanting to change Bill 101, I think, and enforce or make more restrictions. And I think when you make more restrictions, you make life difficult for everybody. So I don't see how that's going to help. Monsieur Legault, François Legault, I think is, as they say, he's a rising star. He's become very popular in a very short time. But the bottom line is also that the PQ and the Liberals have been running Quebec for many years. The Liberals have been in power for 8 years?
9 years. Close to 9 years, yeah.
And they haven't balanced the budget, I think, in 6. They called an election just before the Charbonneau Commission so that they wouldn't, I don't know. Exactly, I'm not in their heads.
Don't worry, say that.
And they've been known to be corrupt. The PQ have been known to also be not so clean. A lot of people that I meet on the street say, "Oh, all politicians are corrupt." Well, since I've yet to...
Do you think so?
I hope not. I hope that everybody has better sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we all have potential. Maybe that's the yin-yang in me. We all have potential to make mistakes. But it's when they perpetuate the mistakes over and over and over again and hide them and cover them up and even refuse to look at them. I've heard stories that I can't repeat here yet, but that are just, it's not right. There are things that are going on that are not fair. People need to know what's going on, and more transparency.
You think people, because of all that you said, will vote you?
No. Honestly, people vote for very different reasons. And hopefully people will vote Green because they care about what's happening around them.
Uh-huh.
I'm hoping people will vote Green because I am new and bringing in a fresh, new ideas. I am young and new. Well, young. I'm 47. I'm not that young.
You're young.
Young enough. And hopefully people will vote Green because they want a change. I believe that we saw it happen with the Orange Wave federally with the NDP. It can happen when people get very upset and disillusioned with government, that they do suddenly go out and vote. In the riding of Westmount St. Louis, which is our riding, almost 70% of the people didn't vote. I just got news from the directeur de scrutin that in the early voting, almost 15% of the population has already turned out to vote, which is record. So it's a good sign people are going out to vote, and they're expressing their voice. If they vote Green, I'll be very happy. And but the most important thing is that everybody votes.
What is the chance that the Green Party win?
Well, we came in second in some ridings and third in others in the 2008 election, and Darcy McGee, Jacques Cartier, Nelligan, and NDG and Outremont, Westmount St. Louis. And so there is a good chance that if we can ride on that previous wave, that we have some strong areas where NDG is very green-oriented and concerned about the environment. Lots of kids, lots of dogs, very much into, and it's also where borders NDG and Westmount, where the new hospital is going to be. So the Greens have a lot of support in that area. Whether all the candidates running will get in, we all hope so. I don't want to be the only one. I want to be able to count at least on one hand the number of Green candidates that get in, so that we can be a team. But Elizabeth May did it on her own. Yeah. So if Elizabeth May, Lisa can.
Mm-hmm. Last question. Most of the Chinese people really want to know this. Do you think a referendum can help Quebec?
No. Simple. No. It's going to cost money. It costs lots of money. Maybe it creates some jobs, but it costs money to have another election, another referendum, another go to the ballots, another upset. It costs money, first of all. So that can't be good for us. Second of all, it makes the rest of the world look at us as an unstable economy. So for foreign investments, it's not good for us. So I don't see in as the young people say, in what universe could the referendum be good for us?
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thank you, Billy.
So you are in Westmount...
Westmount St. Louis riding.
Thank you. So everyone, please go to vote on September 4th.
Actually, you can... information is you can vote any day. If there are special rules that you can go to your Director General of Elections office in your riding and go vote. If you think you're going to be out of town, you can go. They're open from, I think, 9 in the morning till 8 at night. So if there's any problems, go look it up on the website, the DGEQ, or find your local riding, and you can vote up until September 4th, but vote.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Thanks, Billy.
It's a very good time for you to interview you.
I enjoyed this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank